Welcome to Calm Mind, where thoughts finally slow down. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. You don't need to focus, fix anything, or understand everything you hear tonight. Just let the words pass through as you rest. This is a gentle microdose of calm. There is a quiet belief many people carry that being tired means you're doing something wrong. That if you were more organized, more disciplined, more motivated, you wouldn't feel this way. But tiredness is not a failure signal. It's a biological message. Your nervous system doesn't measure productivity. It measures load, mental load, emotional load, decision load, responsibility. And when that load stays high for too long, the body asks for rest, not explanation. You may notice your mind feels loudest at night, not because something is wrong, but because this is the first moment all day when nothing else is demanding your attention. The brain finally has space to speak. Thoughts rise, memories replay, lists form. This isn't overthinking, it's decompression. And exhaustion doesn't mean you didn't do enough today. Often, it means you did too much for too long without pause. You don't need to earn rest by finishing everything. The nervous system doesn't wait for permission. It simply reaches its limit. Tonight, you are allowed to stop evaluating yourself. Allowed to stop preparing. Allowed to stop holding tomorrow together. Nothing needs to be solved in the dark. Your only task is to let your body lower its guard. If thoughts come, let them pass. If sleep comes, let it take you. If this journey brings you some peace, understanding, or permission to be gentler with yourself, like and subscribe. This helps guide others to this peaceful space. Leave a comment on what brought you here tonight. Your story might be exactly what another restless mind needs to hear. Return whenever you need to remind yourself about these truths. But for now, in this moment, your only task is to be here. Let your muscles release their tension. Feel your eyelids becoming pleasantly heavy. Allow your thoughts to slow and soften as we begin this journey together. As you settle into whatever surface holds you, notice that you don't have to hold yourself. The bed, the floor, the couch, whatever supports you is doing that work. You can stop now. Feel the weight of your body, not as something you're carrying, but as something being held. Your shoulders don't need to stay lifted. Your jaw doesn't need to stay clenched. Your mind doesn't need to stay vigilant. Breathe in slowly and breathe out longer. With each exhale, imagine releasing just a small portion of the tension you've been holding. Not all of it. You don't have to let go of everything at once. Just a little less gripping, a little more allowing. Tonight, we explore something simple but radical. You're allowed to be tired. Not as a failure. Not as a problem to solve. Not as evidence that you're doing life wrong. Just tired. A human being who has been carrying a lot for a long time and whose body is asking, quietly or loudly, for rest. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. This is not something to be ashamed of or to push through or to medicate away with more coffee and more willpower. This is your body trying to keep you alive. And for the next 2.5 hours, you have permission to listen, to rest, to stop measuring yourself by how much you can endure and start honoring what your system is actually telling you it needs. You are safe here. Nothing is required of you. And we will explore together why being tired is not your fault, not your failure, and not something you need to fix, only something you need to finally, truly, allow yourself to honor. Let's talk about load. Not the kind you can see or measure or put on a to-do list. The kind that accumulates in your nervous system without you even noticing until one day you wake up and realize you can barely get out of bed. There are the obvious things. The job. The responsibilities. The people depending on you. The tasks that never seem to end. You know about these. You track them. You manage them as best you can. But then there's the invisible load. The kind no one sees. The kind you might not even see yourself until it's crushing you. The mental load of remembering everything. Whose birthday is coming up? What needs to be bought? What appointment is when? What bill is due? What permission slip needs signing? What email needs answering? The endless tracking, planning, anticipating, remembering. The emotional load of managing other people's feelings, reading the room, smoothing over tensions, staying calm when others panic, being the steady one, the reliable one, the one who holds it together so everyone else can fall apart. The decision load. Every single day, hundreds of decisions. What to eat, what to wear, what to prioritize, what to say, how to respond, what route to take, what to click on, what to ignore, what deserves your attention, what can wait. The constant evaluation, the perpetual choosing. and the responsibility load, not just for yourself, but for others, for children, for aging parents, for partners, for co-workers, for friends who are struggling. The weight of knowing that your choices affect other people, that your failures have consequences beyond yourself. No one sees this load. It doesn't show up on a resume. It can't be delegated. It can't be outsourced. It just accumulates, day after day, week after week, year after year. And then someone asks why you're tired, and you don't know how to explain that you're tired from carrying invisible weight, that you're exhausted from work that leaves no evidence, that you're depleted from labor that no one recognizes as labor. So you say, I don't know, I shouldn't be this tired. I didn't even do that much today. But you did. You just did it in ways that don't count, in ways that aren't valued, in ways that are expected to be effortless because they're invisible. Your nervous system counts all of it, every decision, every emotional regulation, every moment of vigilance, every anticipation of others' needs, every suppression of your own. It adds up, not in a way you can see on a calendar or a productivity app, but in your body, in your cortisol levels, in your ability to focus, in the quality of your sleep, in the heaviness you feel when you wake up, already tired before the day has even begun. This is called allostatic load, the cumulative burden of chronic stress and life events. It's the wear and tear on your body and brain from constantly adapting, managing, coping, pushing through. And it doesn't reset overnight. It doesn't disappear with one good night's sleep or one vacation or one day off. It requires sustained rest, real rest. The kind where you stop adding to the load long enough for your system to actually recover. But most people never get that kind of rest, because the load never actually stops. There's always something, always someone who needs you, always something that can't wait. Always another demand, another responsibility, another thing to carry. Let's look specifically at the mental load, because this one is particularly exhausting and particularly invisible. Think about what your brain is doing right now, even as you try to rest. It's probably still running through lists, still checking off tasks, still reminding you of things you forgot, still preparing for tomorrow, still replaying today. This is called cognitive load, and for many people, it never turns off. The brain becomes a constant to-do list manager, a calendar, a filing system, a reminder app, an anticipation engine, a worry generator, a problem solver that never sleeps. You wake up in the middle of the night remembering you forgot to do something. You're in the shower making tomorrow's plan. You're driving and suddenly remembering the thing you should have said. You're trying to watch a show but your mind is somewhere else entirely, working, planning, preparing. This is exhausting. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a way that anyone sees. But in a constant, draining, depleting way that makes you feel tired even when you haven't physically done anything. And the thing about mental load is that it's often invisible to others. They don't see you doing it. They see you sitting on the couch. They see you with free time. They don't see the background processing, the mental juggling, the constant tracking and anticipating and remembering. So they might say, "What did you even do today?" And you genuinely don't know how to answer, because what you did doesn't have a name. It doesn't have visible products. It just kept everything from falling apart. You kept track of things. You anticipated problems. You made decisions. You managed logistics. You remembered what no one else remembered. You thought ahead. You planned. You coordinated. You held the mental map of everyone's needs and schedules and preferences. And that is work. Real work. Exhausting work. Work that depletes your cognitive resources just as much as any real job. Maybe more, because it never stops and no one acknowledges that it's happening. Your brain is not designed to hold this much. It's not designed to track this many variables, make this many decisions, remember this many details. It has limits. And when those limits are constantly exceeded, the brain does what any overloaded system does. It starts to struggle. You forget things. You lose focus. You feel foggy. You can't make decisions. You feel overwhelmed by simple tasks. Not because you're failing, but because your cognitive capacity is maxed out and has been for a long time. So tonight, let your brain stop working. Just for a while. Let the lists wait. Let the planning pause. Let the remembering rest. Nothing will fall apart if your brain stops managing everything for a few hours. And if it does, that's information about how much you've been carrying alone. You're allowed to stop holding everything together. You're allowed to let your mental load be too heavy. You're allowed to admit that you can't remember everything, manage everything, anticipate everything, solve everything. You're allowed to be tired from the invisible work you've been doing, because it's real. It counts. And it's exhausting. And then there's emotional labor. Another invisible form of work that drains you without leaving evidence. Emotional labor is the work of managing feelings, your own and others. It's staying calm when you want to scream. It's being patient when you're at your limit. It's reading people's moods and adjusting your behavior accordingly. It's suppressing your frustration, your sadness, your anger because it's not the right time or the right place, or because someone else needs you to be okay. It's listening to someone's problems when you have your own. It's reassuring someone when you need reassurance. It's being the strong one, the stable one, the one people can count on, even when you're falling apart inside. This is work. Exhausting, depleting work. Because emotions take energy. Suppressing emotions takes even more energy. And constantly managing your emotional presentation while also managing everyone else's emotional state is like running a marathon while juggling. But no one sees it. There's no line item on your timesheet for managed everyone's feelings today. There's no recognition for stayed calm during crisis, or suppressed my own needs to support others, or prevented conflict by carefully calibrating my tone and words. And emotional labor is especially invisible because we're taught it should be natural. Especially if you're a woman, or a caregiver, or in a service role. You're supposed to be naturally good at this. It's supposed to come easily. So when it exhausts you, you feel like something's wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. Emotional labor is labor. It uses real energy. It depletes real resources. And doing it constantly, for everyone around you, while also managing your own emotional life, that's not something that should come effortlessly. That's something that should be recognized, valued, and compensated for with rest and support. Tonight, you don't have to manage anyone's emotions, not even your own. Whatever you're feeling can just be there without needing to be fixed or changed or suppressed. You don't have to perform emotional stability. You don't have to be strong or calm or okay. You can just be tired. You can just be whatever you are, without managing how that appears to anyone else. Because right now, there's no one watching. No one needing you to be anything other than what you are. And that alone might be enough to let some of the exhaustion finally show. You've been working so hard at things no one sees, at things that don't get acknowledged, at things that take everything from you while appearing effortless to everyone else. And you're tired. Of course you're tired. You've been carrying so much for so long. When you're tired all the time, there's a story you might start telling yourself. Something is wrong with me. My body isn't working right. Other people aren't this tired. I must be broken. But your nervous system is not broken. It's responding exactly as it should to the conditions you're living in. Your nervous system has one primary job: to keep you alive. And it does this by monitoring everything: threats, demands, resources, energy. It's constantly assessing. Are we safe? Can we rest? Or do we need to stay vigilant? When the answer is stay vigilant for days, weeks, months, years, the nervous system never fully relaxes. It stays in a state of mild to moderate activation, ready, alert, prepared for the next demand. This state has a name: hypervigilance, and it's exhausting. Because your nervous system is running a marathon, it was designed to sprint. It's using emergency energy reserves for everyday functioning. It's treating normal life as if it's a crisis. And after a while, that drains everything. This is not a malfunction. This is appropriate response to sustained stress. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do when faced with chronic demands. It's trying to keep you functional despite impossible circumstances. But the cost is high. The cost is exhaustion. The cost is waking up tired. The cost is feeling like you can never truly rest, even when you have time to rest, because your nervous system hasn't gotten the signal that it's safe to power down. Think about what your nervous system has been dealing with. Maybe it's work stress that never ends. Maybe it's financial insecurity. Maybe it's relationship conflict. Maybe it's caregiving responsibilities. Maybe it's health concerns. Maybe it's the background hum of living in a world that feels increasingly unstable. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between physical threats and psychological threats. To your nervous system, job insecurity feels similar to being chased by a predator. Financial stress activates the same alarm systems as physical danger. Relationship conflict triggers the same defensive responses as an actual attack. So when you're living with chronic stress, and most people are, your nervous system is chronically activated. The alarm system never fully turns off. The stress hormones never fully clear. The body never fully relaxes into the rest and digest state where true recovery happens. And this makes you tired. Deeply, persistently, stubbornly tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind of tired that comes from your nervous system running on fumes, trying to keep you functioning when every signal says you need to stop. This is called nervous system dysregulation. And it's not your fault. It's not a character flaw. It's not evidence that you're weak or broken or not trying hard enough. It's evidence that you've been living in conditions that make true rest nearly impossible. Your nervous system is trying to tell you something. It's been trying for a while. Probably. First with small signals, a little fatigue, some trouble focusing, occasional anxiety. Then with bigger signals, chronic exhaustion, brain fog, emotional volatility, sleep problems. And if those signals get ignored long enough, because you have to, because there's no choice, because rest isn't an option, the nervous system escalates. It forces rest through illness, through complete shutdown, through making it physically impossible to continue at the pace you've been going. This is not your body betraying you. This is your body trying to save you. So when you feel tired, when you feel like you can't do one more thing, when you feel like you're failing because you just don't have energy, that's not failure. That's your nervous system giving you vital information. This pace is not sustainable. This load is too heavy. We need actual rest, not just sleep. We need recovery time, not just time off that gets filled with other demands. There's a concept in nervous system work called the window of tolerance. It's the zone where you can function well, where you're alert but not anxious, relaxed but not numb, able to think clearly and respond appropriately to what's happening. When you're within your window of tolerance, stress is manageable. You can handle challenges. You recover relatively quickly. You have resilience. But chronic stress, chronic demands, chronic overload, they shrink your window of tolerance. What used to be manageable becomes overwhelming. Small stresses feel huge. You swing between hyperactivation, anxiety, irritability, restlessness, and hypoactivation, numbness, exhaustion, disconnection. And when your window of tolerance is narrow, everything feels harder. You're more easily triggered. You recover more slowly. You have less capacity for even normal everyday stresses. This makes you feel like you're failing, like you used to be able to handle this. So why can't you handle it now? Like other people manage fine, so what's wrong with you? But nothing is wrong with you. Your window of tolerance has narrowed because it's been under assault. Your nervous system has been stretched beyond its capacity for too long, and now it's trying to protect you by making you slow down. The tiredness is the protection. The inability to push through is the protection. Your body making it hard to continue at the pace you've been going. That's not failure. That's your nervous system finally putting its foot down and saying, "We cannot keep doing this." And widening your window of tolerance back out requires one thing: sustained safety. Time when your nervous system is not being asked to respond to threats or demands. Time when it can genuinely rest, recover, recalibrate. Time when the message is not push through, but you can stop now. Tonight is a small moment of that. A few hours when nothing is required. When you don't have to monitor anything or manage anything or prepare for anything. When your only job is to exist, to breathe, to let your nervous system remember what safety feels like. This won't fix everything. One night of rest doesn't undo months or years of overload. But it's a start. It's a message to your nervous system. We're listening. We hear you. We're not going to keep ignoring the exhaustion. We're going to start honoring what you've been trying to tell us. Let's look at what's actually happening in your body when you're chronically tired. Because understanding the physiology can help you see that this is not psychological weakness. This is biological reality. When you're under chronic stress, your body produces cortisol. Cortisol is your main stress hormone, and in short bursts, it's helpful. It gives you energy, sharpens focus, helps you respond to challenges. But when cortisol stays elevated for long periods, it becomes toxic. Chronic high cortisol disrupts your sleep. It interferes with your immune system. It affects your digestion. It impairs your memory and concentration. It increases inflammation throughout your body. It messes with your blood sugar regulation. It makes it harder to build muscle and easier to store fat. And eventually, if the stress continues long enough, your cortisol production can become dysregulated. Sometimes it stays too high. Sometimes it crashes too low. Either way, you feel exhausted. Because your body's stress response system, which is supposed to activate for emergencies and then recover, has been running for so long that it's starting to malfunction. This is often called HPA axis dysfunction or adrenal fatigue, though that second term is controversial. But whatever you call it, the experience is real. You're tired but wired. You can't sleep well. You wake up exhausted. You need coffee to function, but it doesn't really help. You feel like you're running on empty, but you can't stop. Your thyroid might be affected too. Chronic stress can slow thyroid function, which makes you tired, sluggish, cold, foggy. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in your cells, might be struggling, unable to produce enough ATP, your cellular energy currency, to meet your demands. Your neurotransmitters might be depleted. Serotonin, dopamine, GABA, the brain chemicals that help you feel calm, motivated, happy. They require specific nutrients and rest to replenish. When you're chronically stressed and tired, you're not replenishing them, so your mood suffers, your motivation suffers, everything feels harder. This is not all in your head. This is biochemistry. This is endocrinology. This is cellular biology. Your exhaustion has physical causes and physical manifestations. It's not something you can just willpower your way through. And the solution is not more coffee or more productivity hacks or more positive thinking. The solution is addressing the root cause: chronic stress and insufficient rest. Your body needs time and safety to recalibrate its stress response, to restore its energy systems, to replenish its depleted resources. That takes time. It takes real rest, not just sleep, but stress reduction, nervous system regulation, actually addressing what's causing the chronic activation. But it's possible. Your body wants to heal. It wants to return to balance. You just have to give it the conditions it needs to do so. And tonight is a small step in that direction. Tonight, your cortisol can start to come down. Your nervous system can start to shift out of fight or flight. Your body can remember, even briefly, what it feels like to not be in crisis mode. There's a crucial distinction that's easy to lose sight of when you've been tired for a long time. Tired is not the same as broken. Tired is a state. Broken is an identity. Tired is temporary, even when it lasts a long time. Broken suggests permanent, irreparable damage. And those are not the same thing. When you're exhausted, when you can't function the way you used to, when you feel like you're failing at basic tasks that should be easy, it's easy to slip into thinking, I'm broken. Something is fundamentally wrong with me. I'll never be okay again. But that's fatigue talking. That's the cognitive distortion that comes with depleted resources. That's your tired brain trying to make sense of why you feel this way and landing on the most available explanation: personal defectiveness. You are not broken. You are tired. Profoundly, legitimately, understandably tired. From carrying too much. From running too long. From never truly resting. From living in a world that demands more than human nervous systems were designed to handle. The difference matters. Because if you're broken, then the problem is permanent and the solution is impossible. But if you're tired, then the problem is solvable and the solution is rest, real rest, sustained rest, the kind of rest that actually restores resources rather than just preventing complete collapse. Think of it this way. If you ran a marathon, you'd expect to be exhausted afterward. You wouldn't think, "Something is wrong with me. I should be able to run 26 miles and feel fine." You'd know that exhaustion is the appropriate response to extreme exertion. You've been running a marathon, maybe for months, maybe for years. A marathon of managing, coping, pushing through, holding together, being responsible, staying strong. And now you're exhausted. That's not broken. That's exactly what happens when you run a marathon. But because the marathon is invisible, because it's emotional labor and mental load and nervous system activation rather than physical miles, you might not recognize it as a marathon. You might just think you should be able to handle this, that other people do, that you're weak for being tired. You're not weak. You're depleted. And depletion is not a character flaw. It's a resource problem. You've been operating in deficit for too long, using more energy than you've been able to restore, and now your reserves are dangerously low. This is fixable. Not quickly, not easily, not without making some difficult changes in how you live and what you prioritize and what you're willing to say no to, but fixable, because you are not broken. You are tired, and tired beings can rest and recover. There's another layer to this that's worth addressing. Sometimes chronic tiredness crosses over into depression, and it's important to recognize that distinction too. Depression is not just extreme tiredness. It's a specific pattern of symptoms, persistent low mood, loss of interest in things you used to enjoy, changes in appetite and sleep, feelings of worthlessness or hopelessness, difficulty concentrating, sometimes thoughts of death or suicide. If you're experiencing these symptoms, if exhaustion has become something darker and more pervasive, that's not weakness either. That's your nervous system and brain chemistry saying, "We've been under stress for so long that our systems are malfunctioning. We need help." Depression is not a character flaw. It's not proof that you're broken. It's a medical condition, often triggered or worsened by chronic stress and exhaustion, and it's treatable. Therapy helps. Sometimes medication helps. Always, reducing the chronic stress helps. But whether you're dealing with exhaustion or depression or both, the core truth remains: you are not fundamentally defective. Your system is responding to conditions it was never designed to handle. And with the right support, the right resources, the right changes, you can recover. This isn't about positive thinking or trying harder or forcing yourself to be different. This is about recognizing that your exhaustion or your depression is information, not identity. It's telling you something about what you've been living through and what needs to change. And the first thing that needs to change is probably this. You need to stop treating your tiredness as a problem to be solved and start treating it as a message to be honored. Let's talk about the shame. Because for many people, being tired comes with a heavy dose of shame. Shame that you can't keep up. Shame that you're letting people down. Shame that you're not stronger, more resilient, more capable. This shame is not accidental. We live in a culture that valorizes productivity and endurance, that treats rest as laziness, that measures worth by output, that celebrates people who work 80-hour weeks and hustle and grind and never stop. In that context, being tired feels like failure. Needing rest feels like weakness. Admitting you can't handle everything feels like admitting you're not enough. But that cultural narrative is toxic. It's literally killing people. Through burnout, through stress-related illness, through suicide. And it's based on a fundamental lie, that human beings are machines that should be able to run indefinitely without maintenance or rest. You are not a machine. You are a biological organism with limits, with needs, with a finite amount of energy that must be replenished. And feeling tired when those limits are exceeded is not weakness, it's your body functioning correctly. The shame you feel about being tired, that's internalized capitalism. That's productivity culture that's gotten inside your head and convinced you that your worth depends on how much you can produce, how much you can endure, how little you need. But your worth is not contingent on your productivity. Your value as a human being does not decrease when you're tired. You don't become less deserving of care, less worthy of rest, less valuable to the people who love you. So if shame arises as you lie here, shame about being tired, shame about not being stronger, shame about needing this rest, see if you can recognize it for what it is, an internalized message that was never true. A cultural expectation that was always unrealistic. A standard that was designed to extract maximum labor from you, not to support your actual well-being. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You are tired because you have been carrying too much for too long in a world that offers too little support. That's not your failure. That's just reality. And you deserve compassion for it, not shame. Let the shame go, if you can. Or at least, don't let it drive you. Don't let it convince you to push harder, rest less, ignore your body's needs. Let it be there if it must, but don't believe it. Don't give it power over how you treat yourself. There's something else that makes exhaustion harder: comparison. Looking at other people who seem to be managing fine and wondering what's wrong with you. She works full-time and has 3 kids and still goes to the gym and cooks homemade meals, and her house is clean and she seems happy. So why can't you handle your own much simpler life? He's working 2 jobs and going to school and somehow still has energy for hobbies and socializing. Meanwhile, you're struggling just to get through your workday. What's your excuse? But you don't know what they're actually experiencing. You don't see their private moments. You don't know what they're sacrificing, what medications they're taking, what support systems they have, how close they are to their own breaking point. You're comparing your inside to their outside, your exhaustion and struggle to their carefully curated presentation. And that's not a fair comparison. Also, people have different capacities, different nervous systems, different life circumstances, different histories of trauma or stress, different resources, different support. What drains one person might energize another. What's manageable for someone else might be overwhelming for you, and that doesn't mean something's wrong with you. You have the nervous system you have, the history you have, the circumstances you're in, the resources available to you, and you're doing the best you can with all of that. The fact that someone else appears to be doing better doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're different people in different situations. So stop comparing. Stop using other people's apparent functioning as evidence that you should be able to handle more. You don't know what it costs them. You don't know what's really happening beneath the surface. And even if they genuinely are managing better, so what? That doesn't change what your body needs. That doesn't change your legitimate exhaustion. Your tiredness is valid even if other people aren't tired. Your need for rest is real even if other people seem fine. Your limits are your limits, regardless of where anyone else's limits are. And honoring your actual limits, rather than trying to meet some imagined standard based on what you think other people can handle, is not weakness. It's wisdom. Here's one of the most pernicious beliefs many people carry. Rest is something you earn by being productive enough. You're allowed to rest after you finish your work, after you've done enough, after you've proven you deserve it. But rest is not a reward for productivity. Rest is a biological necessity, like breathing, like water, like food. You don't earn the right to breathe by being productive. You breathe because you're alive, and breathing is what living bodies do. Rest is the same. You need it not because you've earned it, but because you're a human being, and human beings require rest to function. Rest is not optional. It's not a luxury. It's not something you get to have only after you've completed everything on your to-do list. Because here's the thing about to-do lists, they never end. There is always more to do, always another task, another responsibility, another demand. If you're waiting until everything is done before you rest, you will never rest. And your body knows this. Your nervous system knows this. Which is why, eventually, if you don't give yourself permission to rest, your body will force rest upon you. Through illness, through complete burnout, through making it physically impossible to continue. So you can rest now, voluntarily, when you're tired but still functional. Or you can rest later, involuntarily, when your system has completely given out. Those are the options. There is no option where you never rest and everything is fine. Rest is not negotiable. The only question is whether you're going to honor your need for it before it becomes a crisis, or whether you're going to push until your body makes the decision for you. Tonight, you're choosing the first option. You're resting now. Not because you finished everything. Not because you earned it. Not because you've proven you deserve it. But because you're tired, and tired beings need rest, and that's reason enough. Let's examine this productivity trap more closely, because it's so pervasive, so deeply embedded in how we think about ourselves and our worth, that it can be hard to see. The trap goes like this. You measure your day's worth by what you accomplished. If you were productive, you feel okay about yourself. If you wasted time, if you rested, if you didn't finish your list, you feel guilty, like you failed. This means that rest always comes with a side of guilt. You're resting, but you're also thinking about what you should be doing instead. You're trying to relax, but you can't quite allow yourself to because there's always something that needs to be done. So you never truly rest. You take breaks, but they're tainted with guilt and anxiety about all the things you're not doing. Your nervous system never fully powers down because part of you is always monitoring, always aware of the tasks waiting, always feeling like you should be doing more. This is exhausting. It means you're spending energy even when you're supposedly resting. It means your recovery time isn't actually recovering you. It means you're operating in a constant state of low-level stress about whether you're doing enough. And the cruel irony is that this guilt about resting makes you less productive, not more. Because you never actually recover. You never fully replenish your energy. So you're trying to be productive while running on empty, which means everything takes longer, feels harder, and produces worse results. True productivity, sustained, high-quality productivity, requires rest. Real rest. Guilt-free rest. Rest where you actually allow your nervous system to power down, your brain to stop planning, your body to fully relax. But we've been taught to fear rest, to see it as laziness, to believe that if we're not constantly doing something, we're wasting our lives. That productivity is virtue and rest is vice. This is a lie. A culturally constructed lie designed to extract maximum labor from human beings. And it's making people sick, burned out, depressed, exhausted to the point of complete dysfunction. So tonight, practice rest without productivity, rest without earning it, rest without guilt, rest because you're a living being who needs it, and that's the only justification required. Let's talk about what rest actually is. Because in a productivity-obsessed culture, the definition of rest has become distorted. Rest is not just sleep. Sleep is one form of rest, essential and necessary, but it's not the only kind. You can sleep 8 hours and still wake up tired because you're not getting other forms of rest you need. There's physical rest. Sleep, yes. But also lying down. Gentle movement. Not pushing your body past its limits. There's mental rest. Time when your brain isn't solving problems or making decisions or planning or remembering. There's sensory rest. Quiet. Darkness. Reducing input. Giving your senses a break from constant stimulation. There's emotional rest. Time when you're not managing other people's feelings or suppressing your own. There's social rest. Solitude. Time alone. Not having to interact or perform or be on for anyone. There's creative rest. Experiencing beauty without having to produce anything. Letting yourself be inspired without pressure to create. And there's spiritual rest. though you can call it existential rest if spiritual doesn't resonate. Time when you're not hustling for worth, not trying to prove yourself, not measuring your value by your achievements, just being, existing without justification. Most people are deficient in multiple forms of rest. They might sleep enough hours but never get mental rest because their brain never stops working. They might have free time but never get social rest because even their free time is full of obligations and interactions. And when you're deficient in rest, sleep alone won't fix it. You need the specific kinds of rest your system is crying out for. And you need sustained amounts of it, not just scraps here and there between demands. Tonight is primarily physical and mental rest. Your body gets to lie still, supported, not working. Your mind gets to wander or quiet or drift, without tasks or decisions or responsibilities. But even this one night, this one small pocket of rest, is valuable. It's a message to your system. Rest is allowed. Rest is available. Rest is not something you have to earn, but something you're entitled to simply by being alive. And maybe, if you can practice accepting rest tonight without guilt, you can start to practice it in other areas. Start to claim other forms of rest. Start to build a life that includes rest as a regular, non-negotiable part, not just something you squeeze in when you're at the brink of collapse. Here's something else worth examining: the belief that you're responsible for everything. That if you rest, things will fall apart. That you can't afford to stop because too much depends on you. But what are you actually responsible for? And what have you taken on that was never yours to carry? You're responsible for yourself, for your own well-being, your own choices, your own actions. You're responsible to the people who genuinely depend on you. Your children if you have them, perhaps elderly parents, perhaps a partner. Though even there, the responsibility is shared, not solely yours. But you're not responsible for other adults' happiness. You're not responsible for managing everyone's emotions. You're not responsible for preventing all problems or solving all difficulties. You're not responsible for being available to everyone all the time. Yet many people operate as if they are, as if it's their job to make sure everyone else is okay, even at the cost of their own well-being. As if resting when others might need something from them is somehow a betrayal. But that's not sustainable. And it's not actually helpful, because when you're exhausted, you can't help anyone effectively anyway. And when you're modeling that self-sacrifice is the highest virtue, you're teaching others that their needs don't matter either. What if you let other people be responsible for themselves? What if you trusted that adults can handle their own problems, or at least ask directly if they need help, rather than you always anticipating and preventing? What if your rest is not selfishness but self-preservation? What if it's actually the most responsible thing you can do, ensuring you don't completely burn out, so you can continue to show up for what actually matters? Tonight, you're not responsible for anything except your own rest. Tomorrow's problems can wait for tomorrow. Other people's needs can wait, or be met by someone else, or not be met, and that can be okay. Your only job right now is to rest. And if guilt arises about that, if part of you says you shouldn't be resting, you should be available, you should be doing something, notice that voice. Thank it for trying to keep you safe by making you indispensable. And then gently set it aside, because you are not actually indispensable, and pretending you are is exhausting you. There's a particular exhaustion that comes from holding, from being the one who holds things together, who keeps things running, who makes sure nothing falls apart. Maybe you're the person people depend on, the responsible one, the capable one, the one who handles things when they get difficult. And maybe you've been doing this for so long that you don't even know how to stop. But tonight, just for tonight, you're allowed to stop holding everything. You're allowed to let tomorrow be uncertain. You're allowed to not have a plan. You're allowed to not know how things will work out. You're allowed to stop anticipating problems and just be here in this moment where nothing is currently falling apart. What happens if you let go? What falls apart? And more importantly, is it your job to prevent that? Or have you been holding things that were never yours to hold, carrying weights that others should be carrying themselves, taking responsibility for outcomes you don't actually control? Maybe some things need to fall apart. Maybe other people need to learn to hold their own weight. Maybe the world doesn't actually fall apart when you stop holding it together. Maybe it just reorganizes into something more sustainable. But you won't know until you let go. And you can't let go until you give yourself permission to stop being the one who holds everything. So tonight, practice letting go. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands open. Let your mind stop planning. Let your nervous system stop monitoring. Let everything you've been holding just be. If it needs you, it will still need you tomorrow. If it doesn't need you, you've been holding it unnecessarily. Either way, tonight you can rest. Tonight you can stop holding. Tonight you can let yourself be held instead of always being the one doing the holding. The bed holds you. The earth holds you. Gravity holds you. You don't have to hold yourself together. You don't have to hold everything else together. You can just be heavy, tired, held. And maybe that's the deepest form of rest, not just sleeping, but genuinely letting go of the responsibility you've been carrying. Even if just for tonight. Even if just for these hours. Permission to stop holding everything and finally, truly, rest. Let's talk about what it means to be the person everyone needs. Because there's a particular burden that comes with that role. On one level, it feels good to be needed. To be the one people turn to be capable, reliable, trustworthy. There's a sense of purpose in it, a sense of mattering. You know you're valuable because people depend on you. But there's a cost. The cost is that you never get to not be needed. You never get to be the one who falls apart. You never get to say, I can't handle this, because everyone else is counting on you to handle it. You become the container for everyone else's overflow, the shock absorber for everyone else's stress, the backup plan, the safety net, the one who catches what everyone else drops. And that's exhausting, because it means you're always on, always available, always strong enough, capable enough, together enough to handle whatever comes. There's no moment when you're allowed to not be that person. You might not even realize how heavy this is, because you've been carrying it for so long that it feels normal. The weight of being needed feels like just who you are, the responsible one, the capable one, the one who handles things. But it's not who you are. It's a role you've taken on. Maybe because someone needed to. Maybe because no one else would. Maybe because you were good at it and people appreciated it and it felt important. But a role is not an identity. And you're allowed to put it down sometimes. You're allowed to not be available. You're allowed to say, I can't hold this right now. I need someone else to carry it. What would happen if you did? What if you told people, I'm not okay right now? I need support instead of giving it. What if you let yourself be the one who needs, instead of always being the one who provides? Maybe you're afraid they wouldn't be there for you. Maybe you're afraid they'd be disappointed. Maybe you're afraid they'd realize they don't actually need you that much. And then who would you be? But those are fears, not facts. And living your entire life based on those fears, always being strong, always being available, always holding everyone else's weight, is killing you. Slowly, invisibly, but definitely. So tonight, practice not being needed. Practice not being available. Practice being the one who's held, not the one holding. Even if it's just you and this moment and the surface beneath you. Even if it's just for these hours. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to be capable. You don't have to be the one who holds it together. You can just be tired. And that's enough. There's something else that happens when you're always the one holding things together. You become hypervigilant, always scanning for what might go wrong, always anticipating what might be needed, always prepared for the next crisis. This is exhausting at a neurological level, because your nervous system never powers down. It's always monitoring, always alert, always ready. Even when nothing is wrong right now, you're watching for what might go wrong next. You're at dinner with your family, but you're also tracking everyone's moods, anticipating conflicts, preparing to mediate if needed. You're watching a show, but you're also listening for sounds that might mean something needs attention. You're trying to sleep, but part of you is still monitoring, still ready to respond if needed. This is a trauma response, not necessarily from one big traumatic event, but from years of learning that if you're not vigilant, things fall apart. That if you don't anticipate problems, no one else will. That your attention is what keeps everything functioning. And maybe that was true, at some point. Maybe there was a time when your hypervigilance was necessary, when things really would have fallen apart without your constant attention. But is it still true now? Or are you still operating in crisis mode even though the crisis has passed? Your nervous system doesn't know the difference. Once it learns that vigilance equals safety, it stays vigilant, even when vigilance is no longer necessary, even when vigilance is what's actually harming you. So you're carrying this constant background tension. This low-level activation that never fully releases. And over time, That becomes your normal. You forget what it feels like to truly relax, to truly let your guard down, to truly trust that things will be okay without your constant monitoring. Tonight is practice in letting your guard down, in trusting that for these hours, nothing requires your vigilance, in allowing your nervous system to power down, to rest, to stop monitoring for threats or needs or problems. Nothing will happen if you stop watching. Or if something does happen, it will happen without you, and that's okay. You don't have to prevent every problem. You don't have to catch every ball that's dropped. Some things can fall, and it won't be your failure. Let your vigilance rest. Let your monitoring system go offline. Let yourself be here, in this moment, not preparing for the next moment or the one after that. Just here, not holding, not watching, not ready for anything, just resting. When you're always holding everything together for everyone else, something happens. You postpone yourself, your needs, your wants, your life. After I get everyone else settled, then I'll focus on what I need. Once things calm down, then I'll take care of myself. When everyone else is okay, then I'll rest. But everyone else is never fully settled. Things never fully calm down. Everyone else is never completely okay for long enough that you get to have your turn. So you keep postponing, postponing rest, postponing joy, postponing the things you want to do, the person you want to be, the life you want to live, always putting everyone else first. Always waiting for your turn that never quite comes. And years pass like this. Years of postponing yourself. Years of waiting for permission that no one gives you because everyone is too busy needing you to notice that you need to. What have you postponed? What have you been waiting to do, to be, to have, until everyone else is taken care of? What dreams have you put on hold? What needs have you ignored? What version of yourself have you been delaying? And what if you never get to it? What if you spend your entire life waiting for a moment that never comes, a space that never opens, a time when no one needs you so you can finally focus on yourself? That's not dramatic. That's what actually happens to people who always put themselves last. They reach the end of their lives and realize they never got their turn. They spent all their time and energy on everyone else, and there was nothing left for themselves. You don't have to do that. You don't have to postpone yourself until some imaginary future when everyone else is finally okay. You can stop postponing right now. Tonight. You can say, "This is my time. These hours are for me, not for anyone else's needs or demands or crises." And if that feels selfish, good. Maybe you need to be selfish. Maybe you've been so focused on everyone else for so long that reclaiming even a few hours for yourself feels wrong. But it's not wrong. It's necessary. You matter. Your rest matters. Your needs matter. Not after everyone else's needs are met. Not once everything else is handled. Now. Right now. In this moment. You are allowed to stop postponing yourself. So let's practice. Right now. In this moment. The practice of letting go. Start with your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Your shoulders. Probably. Your jaw. Your hands. Your forehead. Your chest. Places where you're literally, physically holding, clenching, gripping, bracing. And just let them soften, not forcing them to relax. Just letting go, letting your shoulders be heavy, letting your jaw hang loose, letting your hands open, palms up, releasing whatever they were symbolically gripping. And breathe. Long, slow exhales. Each exhale is a letting go of tension, of holding, of the need to control or manage or prepare. Now notice your mind. What are you holding there? What thoughts keep circling? What are you trying to figure out? Solve, plan, prevent. And see if you can let those go too, not by pushing them away, just by releasing your grip on them, letting them be there if they want to be there, but not engaging with them, not trying to solve them, not giving them your energy, just letting them float by, like clouds passing through the sky. You don't have to hold the clouds. You don't have to direct them or control them or do anything with them. You can just let them pass. And notice your sense of responsibility. That feeling of I should be doing something. I should be preparing for tomorrow. I should be available if someone needs me. Can you let that go too? Just for now. Just for these hours. Can you give yourself permission to not be responsible for anything except your own rest? You don't have to hold tomorrow together tonight. Tomorrow will come regardless of how much you prepare for it, and you'll be better able to meet it if you actually rest now instead of spending tonight holding things that don't need holding yet. So let it all go. The tension, the thoughts, the responsibility, the vigilance, the need to be strong, to be capable, to be the one who holds everything. Let yourself be held instead by the surface beneath you, by the darkness around you, by this moment that asks nothing of you except that you exist. You don't have to hold anything. You don't have to be anything. You can just be here, heavy, tired, held. And every time you notice yourself starting to hold again, starting to plan, to worry, to take responsibility, to prepare, just gently let go again, over and over, as many times as you need to. This is the practice, not holding once and being done, but practicing letting go again and again, training your nervous system that it's safe to release, that you don't have to hold everything, that you're allowed to rest. So rest now. Stop holding. Let go as fully as you can in this moment. You've been holding everything for so long. Tonight, let everything hold you instead. You don't need to stay awake for the end of this. If your mind drifts, that's okay. If sleep comes, let it. You've done enough for today. Your body is tired because it has been working. in ways seen and unseen. Your mind is tired because it has been carrying so much. Your nervous system is tired because it has been vigilant for so long. And all of that is okay. All of that is understandable. All of that is not your fault and not your failure. If this journey has brought you some peace, understanding, or permission to be gentler with yourself, like and subscribe. This helps guide others to this peaceful space. Leave a comment on what brought you here tonight. Your story might be exactly what another restless mind needs to hear. Return whenever you need reminding of these truths. But for now, just rest. Let's take a moment to consciously release today. Not to review it or judge it or wish it had been different. Just to let it go. Today happened. Whatever you did or didn't do, whatever went well or poorly, whatever you handled or didn't handle, it's done now. It's in the past. You can't change it. You can only release it. So imagine the entire day, every moment, every interaction, every task, every thought. Imagine it all as something you've been carrying. Feel the weight of it. And now, set it down. Just place it outside of yourself. You don't have to carry today into tonight. You don't have to keep holding what's already over. If there were mistakes, let them go. You can't fix them right now anyway. If there were disappointments, let them go. Holding on to them won't change them. If there were successes, you can let those go too. You don't have to prove anything anymore. Today is done. Breathe out the day. Every exhale is a release. Every breath out carries away just a little more of what you've been holding. And as you release today, feel yourself becoming lighter. Not that the day didn't matter, not that it wasn't real, but that you don't have to carry it anymore. It served its purpose. It's taught you what it had to teach. Now you can let it rest. And while we're at it, let's release tomorrow too. I know you've been thinking about it, planning for it, worrying about it, preparing for all the things that need to happen, all the things that might go wrong, all the ways you need to be ready. But tomorrow isn't here yet. It doesn't exist yet. You're spending energy on something that hasn't happened and might not happen the way you think it will anyway. So let tomorrow go. Let it be tomorrow's problem. Let tomorrow's version of you handle tomorrow when it actually arrives. Right now, tonight. You don't need to hold tomorrow. Trust that when tomorrow comes, you'll meet it. You'll figure it out. You'll handle what needs handling. You always do. You don't need to pre-handle it tonight. Breathe out tomorrow. All the plans, all the worries, all the preparations. Let them go. They'll still be there in the morning if you need them. But right now, they're just taking up space that could be used for rest. Let tomorrow exist in potential, not in your nervous system. Let it be uncertain. Let it be unknown. Let it be something you'll face when you get there, not something you're facing right now. There's something else you might be holding, the need to understand, to figure things out, to make sense of why you're so tired, what you should do about it, how to fix it. But you don't need to understand everything right now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a plan or a solution or even clarity about what's wrong. You can let understanding go too. Let it be unclear. Let it be confusing. Let the answers come later, if they come at all. Right now, you just need to rest. Not every problem needs to be solved. Not every feeling needs to be analyzed. Not every situation needs to be figured out. Some things just need to be lived through. And you're living through this right now. So stop trying to understand. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to solve the puzzle of your exhaustion. Just let yourself be tired without needing to know why or what to do about it. The answers aren't available in the dark anyway. The solutions require daylight, energy, perspective, none of which you have right now. So stop looking for them. Trust that when you're rested, when you have resources, the path forward will be clearer. For now, let it all be a mystery. Let yourself not know. Let it be okay to not have answers. You don't need to understand. You just need to rest. And now, settle into this quiet space where you're not doing anything, not solving anything, not preparing for anything, not being anything for anyone. This is rare, this space. Most of your life is spent doing, working, caring, managing, responding. Even your rest time is often spent recovering just enough to do more. But right now, you're not recovering in order to do more. You're not resting so you can be productive tomorrow. You're just stopping completely, not as a means to an end, but as an end in itself. Feel what that's like. The complete absence of agenda. The freedom from purpose. The relief of not having to be productive or useful or even present for anyone. You're just here, breathing, existing, taking up space without justifying why, using time without measuring its value, being alive without having to prove it's worth something. This is what rest actually is. Not a pause between doing things. Not preparation for more doing. But the absence of doing entirely. The permission to simply be. And your body knows what to do with this space. It knows how to heal when given the chance. It knows how to restore energy, to repair cells, to recalibrate systems. You don't have to direct any of that. You just have to get out of the way. So get out of the way. Let your body do what it knows how to do. Let your nervous system power down. Let your mind stop working. Let all your systems rest, heal, restore. You don't have to manage this. You don't have to optimize it. You don't even have to think about it. Just stop and let your body handle the rest. You're allowed. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to rest without earning it. You're allowed to stop holding everything together. You're allowed to simply be here. Breathing. Resting. Held. Nothing needs to be solved in the dark. Nothing needs to be fixed right now. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing needs your energy. You can just rest. And sleep. And let go. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw. It's a message. And tonight, you're finally listening. You're listening to your body, listening to your nervous system, listening to the wisdom that says, stop, rest, let go, rest well. You've carried enough. You've held enough. You've done enough. Sleep now. Let everything go. Let yourself be held. You're safe. You're allowed. You're enough. I'll see you soon for another episode of relaxation. May your rest be deep and your dreams be gentle.